So, what is peer-to-peer lending, and more importantly, what is Prosper? So I know some people they might have gotten into Prosper about 5, 6 years ago. It might have been 7 or 8 years ago, but essentially, what peer-to-peer lending is you, the individual, um, say you want to borrow $10,000, right? And so you want $10,000, but you say you can't find a bank or anything like that will loan you $10,000 cash. So you go to somebody like me and you say, hey, I want $10,000. Well, I'm not going to give you $10,000 just cash, just straight up like that. Um, Maybe I don't have $10,000, and I don't even know you, right? So, um, but if I'm able to see all of your borrowing details and your borrowing profile, then I might loan you $25. And maybe somebody else might loan you $25, and somebody else might loan you $25, and so on and so on. And so that's essentially what happens. It's a crowdfunding platform, or these are crowdfunding platforms that well, allows investors to pool their resources together to actually loan money to an individual. That's really it. For whatever purpose. It could be for debt consolidations, it could be for like having a baby, it could be for green energy, it could be like a whole lot of different stuff. So that's essentially what happens. So you want $10,000. You put that issuance on Prosper. Prosper sends it out to the community, and the community says, "All right, we'll invest in it." And so somebody like me, like an investor, I'll put up $25, or the minimum on Prosper at least is $25. And the only reason why I'm talking about Prosper is because that's the one that I had the most experience with. And me personally, I love the platform, but I know some people they don't because they had different expectations of the returns or whatnot. But for me, it's worked out just fine. And the main reason why I think it works out for me is because I'm not doing the whole being greedy thing. So you have different levels of risk, you can say, and you have different ratings of each loan. Because remember, you as the investor, you're sort of like the bank. So what Prosper does is they have like a AA rating, an A rating, a B rating, a C rating, a D rating, like I believe an E and an HR. I can't remember like the rest of them because I don't look at them. But anyway, so AA is like the super safe. But then they also have a Prosper score. Okay. And that goes from like 1 to 11. And so 11 is also showing safety as well, but it's just Prosper saying that this is an investment that, you know, has the more likely to pay back. And the one is likely not. And it's also based off a whole lot of things, like based off of the borrower's profile, FICO score, debt to equity ratio or debt to income ratio, revolving credit, all this type of stuff. So there's that borrower's profile is gold because you can actually see how many defaults the member has, how much outstanding debt that they have in relation to when this loan is issued. So it's a lot of good stuff, and then you can also see how long the member been has had like a credit history. So I mean, it could be like 33 years, 34 years, or it could be like 1 month or 2 months. So another thing that's on Prosper is that you can do, you can sometimes borrowers will have a co-borrower. And this is typically because the member might be really young and they're trying to build up their credit or whatever, or they just have poor credit. And they'll have a co-borrower on there, and you'll be able to see that information as well, which is very beneficial. You can also see if the person has a mortgage. That is very valuable information, because if the person has a mortgage, then that means they're willing to they've been borrowing before and they have an asset of some sort. So that can be very, very beneficial knowledge to know. But anyway, so the safer the loan is, the lower the interest rate typically is. The more risky the loan is, the higher the interest rate typically is. So, and I want to say typically because there are some very safe notes that come around that have very high ratings, but they're just, you got to really be watching, and they come every once in a while. But so what you really should do is just stay. Well, I don't want to tell you what you should do, but I'm just letting you know the reason why probably some people have had bad returns with Prosper is because they're swinging for the fences, seeing those juicy 20% returns, and they're like, oh yeah, let me go ahead and put $100, $2,000, $5,000 on these loans for 20%. Oh yeah, that's gonna pan out great. No. No, it's not, and it doesn't. So for me, I've in my life, there's never been no free lunches. So I don't mess around with that type of stuff. I stay right in the middle of the field. That's what I do. I don't play around the edges. So yeah, it's a great to me. It's a great platform. It also lets you see your history to see how well of an investor you really are, and then also the returns that you get each month. Your profile hopefully will continue to creep upward and go forward. Then you can see all the notes that you've put together. Yeah, and you get to see the maturities of when they get done. So the way the Prosper works is they have 3-year and 5-year notes. So there's going to be 3-year or 5-year maturity. So you once again, I'm not going to tell you what to do. This is not financial advice, but if you set up notes like real close to each other and then you stop investing for a while, you're not going to have a steady stream of income that's going to be coming in. So I think that's another problem for some people, is that they might invest, let's just say they'll put $3,000 on one note. There's a lot of different strategies that you can do, but they'll put like $3,000 on one note. That's a $15,000 note. And they might get returns for a while, but then obviously it's only 3 years. So then after the 3 years comes up, then you have to look for something else. And then, so you're not getting those returns after it matures, if that makes sense. And another thing is that, say if you put $3,000 on one note, say that the individual that you loan the money to doesn't pay you one time or 2 times, that churns into your returns as well. So that's why it's important you have to keep in mind default rates, especially on peer-to-peer lending. Default rates, from my understanding, they're pretty high. I've been fortunate where I haven't had really hardly any default rates, and I do believe it's probably the reason why is because of the way that I structure my notes. I I want my money. so yeah. So for me, that's what I'm on the platform for is I want the money. So I don't mess around putting money into things that are not going to really pan out. But I have run into a lot of people that have had very high default rates. And I've looked at their profiles and I'm like, right, what you think? What you think was going to happen? You know, that of course that's going to happen like that. So I spread my stuff out. I don't know these people. Neither do you. You know, you don't know none of these people that you're loaning money to. The only thing you see is a profile on a website. For all I care, and well, for all I know, that stuff's not even real. I don't know. But what I do know is that if Prosper messes around with me, like if I've put $25 on all these safe notes and all of them default, then Prosper is done. You hear me? So there's no more Prosper at that point. So, so that's my strategy. It sort of worked out really well. I'm very selective. Like I I'm more inclined to not invest in stuff than to invest. So it's got to be really, really good, really, really stable. I don't, me personally, I don't invest in anything or in anyone that has any defaults in their history. Any delinquencies whatsoever. If you have a delinquency, I'm not investing with you. Period. I don't even consider it. I don't even look at it. If you have a delinquency at any time in your profile history, I do not invest with you. And that is another reason why people have default rates, is because they invest with people that have already been delinquent. If they are delinquent, if they've been delinquent with someone else or they done a default on someone else, what you think they're going to do to you? Right? Okay. So that's what I'm saying. So that's why I don't invest with I don't invest in people that have already been delinquent. And people will say, well, you know, that's pretty jacked up. You know, people don't change. Yeah, people might change, but they ain't gonna change with me. No, no, no. So people can learn their lessons with somebody else. But for me, I'm just trying to, you know, get my check and go on with life. So that's what I do. Um, yeah, I it's a great, at least Prosper is a very great platform, and peer-to-peer lending is also great. It's just the fact that you got to stay consistent, got to stay disciplined, and this is the same thing with anything in life. And then you got to take massive action, and this is what I've been doing lately. Is been trying to take a lot more massive action. I think I was too timid at first, but now I'm starting to like, okay, now I know what I'm doing. Well, yeah, and it's time to go ahead and just take massive action, take some bigger swings, and it just comes with confidence in yourself. That's what you have to do. You have to always be confident in yourself and confident in your abilities, and that takes time sometimes. So yeah, well, all in all, it's a great platform. I recommend anybody. Oh, well, I'm not going to recommend you do something, but I'm just saying that if you are interested in peer-to-peer lending, I think Prosper is definitely a great platform. Um, and they also have a lot of good tools for you to learn. And they had some good stuff before. They had the folio investing thing where it was going to be where you could actually trade notes or sell notes, and that was pretty amazing at the time. But yeah, if you're wondering what this is a crochet hook that my wife uses. It's in the video. But anyway, like, yeah, it used to be a really great situation because you could have a note and the note would be, say the note might not be performing that well, or you think that the note might perform well in the future, but you just don't want to have it for whatever reason. Just like a bank, you could put it on folio investing and you could trade it or you could sell it to someone else and they would pay you a sort of like a commission or all the coupon rates or whatnot, or however that works. But anyway, they would pay you a premium for selling you or selling them the note. It was awesome. I mean, I love that thing. I don't know why they got rid of that. Maybe they weren't making that much money off of it, but that was nice. And I wish that they would bring that back. That's the only thing, because everything else is nice. You can see everything that you need. Um, but that's just for me personally. Like I said, some people they don't like the returns or whatnot. Me personally, I know I'm saying me personally a lot, but I'm just saying the returns that I've been getting on this platform, I really liked it. Been stable, consistent, and it's a whole lot better, in my opinion, than any type of CD by far. And definitely any corporate debt that at least that I've been investing in by far, because I can actually get I can look at the note and I can see the person's profile and I can structure that loan. And well, I'm not really structuring, but I'm just saying I can choose what I'm going to invest in and not, and I can get returns of 7 and 8%. I mean, that is something that you can do. Like 7 and 8% is definitely feasible in this game, in this space. Um, More than likely, your average return is probably going to be somewhere around 5 to 7%. But yeah, 7 to 8% on a consistent basis is feasible. It is feasible. So now that, like I said, that's not something maybe for real estate. Like obviously, real estate investment, you can get crazy returns. Some people, you know, 21, 22% returns with rental income. I get it. I understand. But for me sitting at the house, clicking some buttons, and yeah, and I'm able to lock in 7 to 8% for 3 to 5 years and reinvest that. Yeah, I'm doing that all day, not even thinking about it. So that's what I do. So this is just once again, this is just like a little introduction to peer-to-peer lending. Maybe not an introduction, but it's just me ranting on peer-to-peer lending. I think it's a great thing, and also Prosper. I don't have any expertise at all on Lending Club. I hear that it's a great platform for people that use it, but I don't have any history with it. I never did. I chose Prosper. Well, actually, I had somebody at my job that was doing Prosper at the time, and they told me about it, and they were saying they were making all this money or whatever, and then they quit. So it was like, okay, and then I just kept doing it, and I've been doing it ever since. And I mean, I don't know anybody else around me that does it, but I love it. So yeah. With that being said, I hope that this helps you out a little bit. Hope that you take this information and you use it, and hopefully it makes you more prosperous as well. So with that being said, peace, one love, and I hope you have a great and prosperous day. Peace.